What's up, everybody? Hello, my name is Graham Bell, the Political Regularity. It's Thursday, the 19th of November. We're just having a little tech scenario here. So like that thing's there. Okay. Replica's going to be here in a second. I had to do a reset, and to get my rental car because my car's might get worked on. It might not. It might be. They're saying it might be totaled, so I don't know what's going on. So I've had to do kind of and anytime you get a thing set up, if you move or change anything, then it's a house of cards. So and I'm here all alone. Hello, everybody. This side seems a little shadowy. How was my rental experience? There was no woman. There was no rental hottie. There was a lovely lady who took care of me, but there was no. I didn't fall in love with the rental agency, guys. I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's just like I said yesterday. For having, my car was parked. I wasn't in it. It got hit. The driver's okay. I'm okay. Everybody's okay. That's good. It is just a hassle. It just takes a bunch of time out of my day, phone calls with the insurance, and then I got to go, and the rental car place doesn't pick you up. So I got to drive my car, which technically still runs, but I probably shouldn't be driving it. So then I got to leave it there. And so I got a rental car, which is, hey, it's all good. They're going to give me an appraisal. I found out what the loan on the thing. So whatever, man. Ho, boo, boo, boo. Hello, everybody watching. 227 viewers. Please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody watching on the Rockfin. What's up, Nikki Six? And the Facebook Live. Couple of likes up, thumbs up on the Facebook. Hello, everybody on the Facebook. Hello, Backyard Politics. Hello, Humanity. Vladimir, Gamer for Life, Progressor, Jenner, Allen, Nicole, Dante. Yep, the Irish are not in a hurry if starting time is 7. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah. I got to tweak some stuff too, because I noticed I was looking at the clips from last night and I noticed something. I just want to bring this up to show this real quick. It seems like it's just slightly like the camera's a little tilted, right? Now we'll figure that out later. All right, everybody. 265 people watching, 120 likes. Let's get the likes up to 200, everybody. Everybody got notifications. That's good. I've dipped back below 73,000 subscribers, everybody, thanks to YouTube unsubscribing people. So make sure you're subscribed. It is so frustrating to work so hard to build up this audience and then have YouTube start taking it away. It's a very frustrating thing to watch. Our moderator is here. Sam Dean, Shaven Nichols, Ridiculous. Help. My wife went missing yesterday while she was walking our dog. I will give a hefty reward for any information leading to the return of my dog. Oh, come on, Sam. That's an old school, like, wife joke. And women do the same thing. I've heard the same joke. Help. My husband went missing. Reward for dog. Come on now. That's an old school joke. Thanks for supporting the show, buddy. All right, let's see. 292 watchers, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button. We're at 147 likes. Let's bring on Ron Placone, ladies and gentlemen. Regular contributor to the Jimmy Dore Show, former seasonal co-host of the now defunct Aggressive Progressive, and one half of the currently on COVID hiatus Progressive Comedy Tour, probably will be renamed the Socialist Comedy Tour, and the host of Get Your News On with Ron, ladies and gentlemen, Rod Placone. Well, I can't hear you.
My mic was muted while I was waiting. I forgot to hit the unmute button. Sorry about that.
I love that. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's always something. I've been getting subscribers scrubbed too. So good to hear I'm not alone.
Yeah,
they're doing it to all of us. They're just scrubbing. Ugh. Well, we don't need to dive down this, but yeah, there's a new terms of service now too. It's fun times.
Oh, what's that say? What's the new terms of service say?
I haven't read all the details yet. Yeah, I think it's if you get over a certain subscriber count, they can just purge all those subscribers, then come to your house and kick you in the nuts. I think that's what it is, but it might be more detailed than that. No, there's a new. I didn't read all the details yet, but it's like, whenever they do anything, oddly enough, it always screws over the creator 100% of the time. Never goes. I mean, you could say it's just like, tech kinks and evolution. If it goes both ways, like if it went both ways, if sometimes it makes our lives more difficult, other times it makes our lives better. But when it is 100% making the creator's life more difficult, gee.
I mean, it's like, who are they to purge subscribers? Why do they get to do that? Like, we earn these subscribers. We got them. Who are you to come take it away?
Yeah.
And every time I go live, there's people saying, "Oh, I never got a notification."
They don't want to burden people. That's what YouTube says about that. They don't want to overburden people, because it's like, have you ever subscribed to I know, like, back in the day when like print magazines were more common, I subscribed to Rolling Stone, and then I got really mad when they sent me every issue of Rolling Stone. I was like, stop sending me this. It's not like I asked for this. Oh, except I did. And I look forward to it every month, and I read it, because when you subscribe to something, that means when it comes, it's not an inconvenience to you. It's what you fucking asked for. So when someone subscribes to a YouTube channel, they want to know when content's available to them. If Rolling Stone just didn't send me the freaking magazine, I would have. I'm assuming they had a customer service line at the time. This was a long time ago, but I'm assuming I would have called somebody, be like, "Hey, where's my magazine?"
I know. And YouTube just, there's no one to talk to. There's nobody.
No, you never get a person. It's always some kind of bot. Because, I mean, they're strapped for cash right now. It's not like they can't afford to hire human beings to handle complex situations. They couldn't possibly afford something like that. Nor could they possibly afford to have free speech professionals actually uphold the free speech laws of the United States. They couldn't possibly do anything like that. They're a private company, and let's just allow them to keep making things worse. Let's do that.
Yeah, I think that's what we need. These unelected tech billionaires that run all of these big social media platforms should be allowed to just do whatever they want. Yeah.
That's the solution. And then, or if we're going to try to propose a solution to fix this problem, let's propose a horrible solution like Donald Trump did with his ridiculous executive order that even this week the Senate went on the books, demonstrating that they don't understand it. I mean, Ted Cruz just demonstrated live that he has no clue what Section 230 actually does, how it works, what it means. They're just saying, hey, we have a bad situation. Let's fix it with horrible policy. because horrible policy fixes a bad situation, right? No, it doesn't. It makes it worse. But that's how we solve problems in the United States. Hey, here's a bad thing. Let's have some shitty policy to fix that up.
I love a bad thing that then gets worse by shitty policy. I mean, there's
Right?
nothing more excited than that. It's like you go to a restaurant, you're like, this isn't what I ordered. And they go, oh, all right. I'm going to fucking piss on it.
Yeah, that'll exactly. I'll take it back to the chef. He'll light it on fire.
Yeah.
Then we'll bring it back to you.
Do you want me to dump this ashtray on it? Does that help?
That's the American way. That's like if our government was a restaurant. They'd be like, hey, there's a problem here. Like, oh, okay, we'll just burn down your table. We got this.
You
don't want your table burned down? Well, you should have taken that shit sandwich instead, you purist.
How dumb do you think America is on a fundamental level?
Oh, geez, that's wow. Yeah, can I get some kind of a scale? I mean, I feel like these speakers go up to 11 at this point.
Yes, these absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a movie, Graham. I made a movie reference all by myself.
It's a music movie, so I don't know if it counts.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
It's one of those things that, like, if you're a diehard, vinyl music guy like you are, you're gonna know what Spinal Tap is, right?
Fair enough. Yeah, okay. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Right. Okay. It's like I know who the Ramones are. You know what I mean? I'm not a big music guy, but I know who the Ramones are. You know what I mean? I know the Clash. I love the Clash. But I can't say I'm a music guy.
What about these guys? Bad Religion. You know them?
Bad Religion?
Yeah.
I'm sure I've heard some of their stuff, right? They got that one song.
You know what? The amount of time you've spent in a car with me, yes, you've definitely heard some of their stuff at some point. Right. So yeah, we'll just go with yes. You definitely have.
That's me with so much music. Like, oh, do you know this band? And I'm like, I think I do. Do they have they got a hit song? Somebody said, I mean, is there a song I've heard?
What's their leading single?
Yeah, what's their big number? Is any of their songs been in rom-coms?
What's their big number?
No, I sound like I'm 90. Do they have a
what's their big number? Do you play them at the sock hop?
Yes. What's their big sock hop song? Like Bad Religion, I'm sure has a sock hop song. The Ramones.
Did Alan Freed spin them?
Did they open up for Buddy Holly? I mean, I'm sure that they did.
They toured with the Big Bopper, Bad Religion. It was the Big Bopper with Bad Religion. And the Crickets were there, not Buddy Holly, just the Crickets. It was weird, but a lot of people don't know about that tour.
You know what I like, Chantilly lace and a pretty face with Bad Religion. See, if I knew a Bad Religion song and I did that together, that would have been a great joke, but I don't.
Chantilly lace with a pretty face. She's the American Jesus. There you go. I did it.
Oh, you know what I like, American Jesus and walking around. That's it.
You know what I like. The morons are in power, so we sit back and we fall behind.
Oh, the big
and we watch them as they fuck up all the good things on this earth with their mind at the hop. At the hop.
The Big Bopper doing Bad Religion songs. I'm so done with this,
dude. Yeah, this has got to happen. We got to do this for like 2 more hours.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, Big Bopper doing Bad Religion.
Big Bopper doing Bad Religion.
Does anyone have any questions for Ron and I in the super chat? It's kind of hard to answer super chats when there aren't any. Oh, Lucky Burrito just threw one down. Lucky Burrito, art and music, shave your knuckles for justice. You keep my human sane. Woof woof, Leo.
Aww. So that means it's from the dog. That's from Leo. Leo, right. Who is Leo's human, is Lucky Burrito, art and music. Unless Lucky Burrito, art and music is the burrito of a human, and the dog can type via the burrito. But either way, awesome.
So you're saying dogs are communicating with burritos?
Yeah, Dogs communicate via burritos, and then there's a human at the end of all this. But shout out to the dog, the burrito, and the human. Love to all.
Right on. 461 people watching, 222 likes. Let's get the likes up to 300, everybody. So, and Free Assange, please. What's up on and Nikki 6 over on the Rock Fan. So I definitely want to talk about this. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood, and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to what we're doing here. I'm joined by my good friend and a host of Get Your News On with Ron, a very popular YouTube show, Ron Placone. Ron, I wanted to talk to you about the shocking revelation of Nancy Pelosi being voted yet again to be Speaker of the House.
It was a very close contest. It was her versus nobody, and nobody just didn't make it this time. I made a couple calls on nobody's behalf, and wasn't enough.
I phone banked for nobody.
I wrote nobody in. I've been writing nobody in for years, and nobody's good on the issues.
Really good.
Nobody's really good on the issues. Nobody has always, whenever there's been a surplus in their district, nobody's always given it back. And nobody great with animals too. I mean, I know that I'm not trying to just lean on the personality here, but sometimes it's like, I met nobody once and the dog just went right up to them and sniffed. And it's like, you know what? They have a good judge of character. Nobody's heart's in the right place. I think nobody would have been the better speaker, but they just couldn't pull it out. And Nancy Pelosi coasted to victory.
Isn't it funny? A couple years ago, there was, maybe it was, which year, 2016 or 2017, there was a big push to get a progressive in there. And behind closed doors, the Democratic Party crushed it. And now they're not even trying to give the facade that, like, there's a chance.
They're not pretending to care. Like, they're not even pretending that they care about anything. Like, they're not even pretending. It's like, hey, we lost seats again. You're in.
Yeah, we have still enough to call ourselves a majority, but it doesn't matter. They lost seats because they just vote in line with, they voted for Trump's crap time after time. They vote against populist policies that would help people. So when people are confronted by that, they just go back and vote for the Republican then.
That and they rely on people's amnesia about the whole thing, I mean, they only win, they being the Democrats, they only win when it's literally impossible for them to not win. Like right. When it's like literally impossible, where it's like you only have two choices, and as long as there is something that's not the Republican, it's going to win right now. Like in 2018, calling that a blue wave is quite comical. It was more like a blue trickle. But yeah, they got some wins because it was impossible for them not to. In 2020, They actually managed to lose seats. And yeah, I think leadership's fine. Let's go with her again. What's funny is that she's been saying that she's going to step down in 2022 from that position, probably because she knows there's going to be a bloodbath in the midterms, which is very, very likely to happen. And she doesn't want to be the lightning rod when it happens.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me that, well, first, the Democratic Party clearly doesn't want to learn at all. I mean, they've learned absolutely nothing. But then the American people, like the majority of the onus goes on the ruling class, obviously, that's doing this and propagandizing people. But I have to put some responsibility on the American people for refusing to look back beyond like a month ago into the history books. Like they keep voting. We're voting out that party and voting in this party. And then this party does bullshit. So we're voting them out, and we're like I'm just so confused by that, by the American voter when they're confronted with a ballot measures that really help them out. They all line up, in droves. We've talked about since the election, like Florida, overwhelmingly, a supermajority votes for $15 an hour minimum wage. Mississippi votes for marijuana. Mississippi votes to end Jim Crow laws. All these red states have voted for all this progressive policy, and blue states. And yet the so-called progressive party, which is the Democrats, which they're not. They're not progressive. They're not left. They're not anything. They're just the Republican Party of 30 years ago. That has a handful of like Democratic Party types from 30 years ago, i.e. the Squad, but they don't have any real like populist left policies that are going to get passed. So when is the American voter going to kind of wake up to this? I mean, obviously the propaganda machine, and I'm not excusing the propaganda machine of the ruling class. It's very effective. You see how effective it is, but people are just like, America's always been propagandized this way, but I feel like they're getting even crazier in their refusal to like do something new. Like, it is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, you said that, well, the Democrats just refuse to learn. Here's the problem. Here's what they actually learned. Here's like the last time the Democrats, I think, and when I say Democrats, I mean the Democratic establishment, truly learned something. They learned something when Joe Crowley got the floor mopped with him by then challenger AOC. Mm-hmm. And what they learned was people are thirsty for real change. So we need to convince them that there's not a valid option for real change. So Nancy Pelosi would not utter the word. She would not utter the name Shahid Buttar. She knew who he was. She knew he existed. I guarantee it. But these politicians, Nancy Pelosi did it. Debbie Wasserman Schultz did it. As of recent, they're not going to acknowledge their progressive challengers. They're not going to acknowledge a debate because they saw what happened to Crowley. They don't want that to keep happening. And a really good way to prevent that is to not validate your opponent. So when people go to the polls, enough of them don't realize a valid choice is out there and just go with what they know. They go, well, Nancy Pelosi, she's been here forever. Okay, I'll check the box for her. A lot of that responsibility does fall on the voter too. I'm certainly not excusing the voter. That's definitely part of it. You're 100% right. But a lot of that also falls on a complicit corporate media that thrives on access that allows these politicians to get away with that stuff. We should live in a society where they say, hey, there's going to be a debate. And as a congressperson, you are obligated to come to this debate. It's not that we want your permission to host a debate. It's right. We're hosting a debate. And if you're not there, you're going to fricking hear about it. And if you send some representative, well, the people are going to know that. I don't know if even that would be enough in waking people up, but it sure as hell would be a start if we had a media that actually made these politicians responsible to their districts and actually forced them to debate challengers on the issues. That would be a start.
I mean, I would love to see that. I mean, the fact ducking a debate is just such a sign that you're going to lose if you go up against somebody. You can't debate somebody. If you're that confident. I'm confident. If I ran for an office, I would debate anybody.
Yeah,
I could debate anybody. I know I could, because I know that and if they ducked me, then it was because they couldn't handle the fact that I'm going to point them out for the liars that they are. I mean, but I really feel like America might be like seriously losing its mind. You hear about, there was that nurse in South Dakota who like a day or two ago said she's literally treating people who are dying of COVID and they don't believe that they have COVID. Mm-hmm. And she's like, it's crazy. She's like, I'm intubating them. And they're literally, some of their last words are COVID isn't real as they die from COVID. She's like, it's crazy. I mean, and then there's people who, watch both of our shows that have family members that just don't want to hear all the bad things the Democratic Party's done. Obama, Biden, Clinton, Kamala Harris. They just don't want to hear it. They just don't want to hear it. So I'm like, what is that? Because I want to believe that people are waking up, but I don't know. That's such a form of insanity. I mean, like, you're dying of COVID. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, that's like what crazy drug addicts do. Like, as a crackhead is like, you're dying from crack. No, I'm not. And like, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal. In connecting it to electoralism, I think it's one of those things where no matter how bad things get, people just think better things aren't possible. And it's an awful lot of conditioning where it's like, I mean, even something like lesser of two evils, such a cliche in our society. And when you really take a step back, you realize how absolutely absurd that is, especially at a moment where the climate's collapsing and we're an empire and we're the richest country the face of the world has ever seen, and we don't have health care. I'm not going to sit here and say that I expect our politicians to be saints. I understand that. I understand there's a certain dirtiness involved with that game, and that's never going to go away. But to just not have policies that just uphold basic human decency for a life, and to not want to be a society that builds an economy on endless war to exploit other countries and resources, that's not asking for too much. That's not a purity test. That's demanding basic human decency in a country. And other countries who also have their problems, sure as hell don't have problems to that extent.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, because anyone who thinks things are going to be different with Biden and Harris are, I don't know what to say. And the never ending war
Well,
machine.
Graham, I wouldn't be so cynical there. I'm very confident by January, Biden is going to forgive $50 of student loan debt. I think it's going to happen. I am pretty sure it'll be like a coupon, but he's going to do it. And baby steps. That's incremental. That'll go a long way.
Well, there's a bill that I know Pelosi is introducing to give every working American a dollar off on ice cream.
So there you go. I mean, that's maybe people are struggling to make their groceries right now. That'll certainly help. That's a dollar they can put towards that. So, we are seeing some stuff here. There is some solid policy out there.
That's some solid policy, Ron. Just
look, you know what, Graham? I mean, it's like we have spent 4 years with a president who has ignored science, and here we are progressing to a president who will listen to science and just ignore the inconvenient parts. We are moving along. We are moving along.
That's the kind of change we need, and we'll just let these centrist Democrats. I mean, I want to hold Joe Biden to the fire, but he hasn't been sworn in yet. And then when I hold him to the fire after he's sworn in, I'll be told to wait until the 22 midterms, and then after
you gotta wait until
But then 2024 he's running, so we got to hold. So when he gets his second term, but hold the 2026 midterm. So we want to hold back, just not immediately, but in 2030 is when.
That's when we might be able to do. Look, I think it's going to be one of those things where we're going to have to just hold our nose and vote for the Democratic candidate, Donald Trump Jr., to prevent the hologram of Mussolini from becoming president. And then in 2032, we can try to institute some real change. We'll be able to push Don Jr. left.
Oh, yeah, I get it. That makes sense. I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
And for anyone who thinks that's an embellishment, by the way, tell me the difference between Bloomberg and Trump. Tell me. I'm listening.
This was
Bloomberg, the guy who ran as a Democrat.
Yes, the most Republican guy ever, who's got sexual assault charges, whose ties with Epstein.
Stop and frisk. Stop and frisk. Was that guy.
Oh,
He's running as a Democrat.
Unbelievable.
They spent more time in those debates tone policing when it came to billionaires. Like when he was like, stop calling us oligarchs. Stop calling us billionaires, please. Call us people of wealth. Fuck you. How's that? Give away enough that you're not a billionaire anymore, and then I'll call you a person of wealth.
I'll call you a person of wealth. Give away 90% of your money. That still leaves you in the 1%. The 10% will still make you richer than 99% of the population. Give it all away to help people. not for tax breaks, but give it away that just directly help people. If you do that, I won't advocate for your guillotine.
Yep. I may even drink your shitty coffee.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
I may go out for a coffee themed milkshake every now and again.
All right, let's answer some super chats. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching The Political Vigilante. There are 631 of you watching. Please hit the like button. Let's get the likes up to 400. We're at 326 likes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I missed a couple. Noe Saldana, invest in stocks. Stay up. Stay safe, everyone. Shave your knuckles for justice. The cynical syndicalist. Shave your knuckles for justice. Many people have been convinced that there are no alternative to capitalism. Can we agree that reforming capitalism is Sisyphean at best? Oh, yeah, for sure. Nothing is. Reforming capitalism is like, again, it's greening up the military. It's middle ground climate policy. That's what reforming capitalism is. It's just like organic heroin. I mean, it's going to do nothing. It's going to do nothing.
Well, it can't be reform. I mean, when you really break down what capitalism really is, I mean, the word capital's in the frickin' term.
Right.
So capitalism is just pursuit of profit, private ownership. And guess what? The people with all that ownership, they get to make the rules. That's capitalism, baby. So you can't reform that. Like all these people who are like, is there a way we could do it ethically? No, because that's what it does every single time. That's what it has done whenever it's been tried. And then you kind of rein it in a little bit with some like socialism. And then the same thing happens over and over again. That's what capitalism is set up to do.
Yep.
And all these things we're taught that we can't have without capitalism is total just bullshit. It's just a total bullshit that you were taught that was a straight up lie. You can't have a marketplace of goods and services without capitalism. That's bullshit. That's not true. There's even a thing called market socialism. That's what it's freaking called. It just means socialism just means workers own the means of production.
Yeah.
And you can still have public funding for things. You can still have a marketplace of goods and services. In a socialist society or even a mutualist anarchist society, I could still start a restaurant if I want to. I can still be a comedian. I know that's another fun myth that people like to push. Well, artists can't make money unless it's capitalism. Where the fuck did you invent that? Where did you hear this? I mean, I love it. Like,
all the socialist societies where they fund art.
Yeah, no shit, right? Where there's actual like proper patronage and stuff like that, where it's like, nah. Yeah, anyway. All those myths are very fun.
Matt S. Shave your knuckles for justice, Matt. Thank you for supporting the show. I got to work late tonight. Thanks for the content, man. Yeah, I know. I've been doing a lot of late night streams. That's why I was trying to do one earlier for everybody, especially on the East Coast and stuff like that. 366 likes, guys. Get it up to 400. I know you can. Alan Flynn. Alan, shave your knuckles for justice. Free Assange. You got that absolutely correct.
Yes.
Max D. Shave your knuckles for justice. CNN made my mom think Trump was a Russian double agent, and now they're making her think Biden is the second coming of FDR. I hate CNN deeply. It's unbelievable. It's insane. And Fox is making people think that Biden is a Marxist. It's like I wish. God, I wish
that was true.
Wouldn't that be great if Joe Biden was a Marxist?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the only Marx he's even heard of is Groucho.
Annabelle Corley. Boom. What's up, Annabelle? Hope everything's good down under. Graham and Ron. Music talk always makes me laugh. Ron and that young people's devil music. All those hula hoops and I don't know what kind of gyrations. I don't like it, Ron.
All those hula hoops at the sock hop.
Yeah. Hula hoops at the sock hop, moving their hips in a suggestive manner. I don't like it, Ron. All that pelvic sorcery. I don't want it.
The pelvic thrust driving people insane. Yay. That's a movie. Dude, 2 movies. Me.
It is.
They're movies.
They're both
music.
They
are. Yeah.
Come on. creative experiments, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice, and take a look at those vegan guns, folks. Just gander at those on a Thursday. I know I'm in a blue leftist. I know I'm a true leftist when my choice between the lesser two evils is to either watch a video of Marxist David Harvey, who voted for Biden, or Graham Elwood, who is distracted by Bitcoin.
That's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny line.
It is funny. I mean, Bitcoin just crossed 18,000, kids. I hope you moved, Ron, I hope you moved some of your Rockfin into Bitcoin because it is going through the roof. David,
no, I have done some crypto transactions actually. So
good.
Yeah.
Do you got a cold wallet?
Maybe. Is that just? I mean, I have like the basic thing, like the wallet thing.
To store it that's not connected to the internet?
It's an app.
The app's okay. An app's okay.
I got the app.
But you might want to also look into getting a cold wallet.
Okay. All right. I signed up for the hot one. Is the hot one shitty?
The hot one's not shitty.
I have a it was the hot, the lukewarm, or the cold. I took hot. Should I have done? What did I miss here?
Hot is in like sexy, right? Like it's a really sexy wallet.
Yeah, it was a scantily clad wallet. And then the lukewarm one was just like, there was just a shower emoji. And then the cold one must be what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. David Wint, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Hi, guys. Today is a good day to finally ignore the electoral kabuki and overthrow the corporate state in a mass uprising. Don't you think? Hashtag
I showed up this afternoon. No one else was there.
I'm so down with that. I so agree with that. What's up, Ivan Tavarsky? Biden is too senile to know what Marxism is. That's a good one. That's everybody over on the Rockfin. Sam Dean, boom. Seeing you two talking reminds me, good friends are like toasters. If you throw them down the stairs, they probably won't make toast for you anymore.
You know what? I'll say this. When we come back to Australia, which I can't wait to tour Australia again, I'm going to be a little disappointed if there's not one point in any of the shows where somebody doesn't throw some toast up on stage while I'm up there. That has to happen. That has to happen. You know,
I don't think it's hard for you to encourage an audience to throw anything at you while on stage.
Okay, afterwards, hand me toast after the show. There we go. We'll leave it at that.
Or at least the bar should sell toast, which I know a lot of bars aren't real big on that, but I think at our show,
we'll have a toast themed something. Toast themed something.
Something. We should sell like toaster ovens after the show, like
all right.
Ron Placone's toaster or something like that.
Yeah. No throwing it, because I'm very much against wasting food. So no throwing it. That is a bad idea. But you know, some kind of like toast themed symbolism. Like maybe a toast of toast. Like afterwards, we'll all have pieces of toast and we'll raise them up and eat them.
None of these sound like good ideas, but I support the theme aspect of toast being somehow in our next Australian tour.
I think the toast is a fantastic idea.
It is.
I'm for it. Like just everyone brings loaves of bread, and then we just toast them. And we're like, all right, let's eat.
All right, I'm down with that, Ron. I think that's fantastic idea. There's another one from Sam Dean. Sam Dean, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Hey, Ron, when my toaster broke, my wife left me. I guess she was lactose intolerant. Learn to pack a backpack, you Mr. Rooney looking dude. Thank you, Sam.
Sorry about your wife, buddy.
Sorry, buddy.
I'm here for you. I
know. Melissa H. What's up, Melissa? Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Got my backdated unemployment almost enough for pay for the new used car I need. Do either of you get self-employed unemployment? Did California have it for COVID-19? Yes. Yes, I was able to get a little bit of it because of losing all the road dates from stand-up comedy. and I got mine backdated. I got a friend who just got his like a week or two ago, and it was backdated for months. So he just got one big lump sum. So, yeah, pay off your bills. Get out of debt, save up some money, invest in something. Buy a car if you need it. Annabelle Corley, Shaver Knuckles for Justice. What is it about 50 plus white women in American politics? Can anyone see a pattern? That's fantastic. Kate, our moderator. What's up, Kate? Do you think pitchforks and burning torches outside of Congress is too much?
No.
No. And it's gonna.
No, I do not.
I think. So, hello, everybody. You're watching The Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. I'm joined here by Ron Placone from the YouTube show Get Your News On with Ron. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. YouTube is unsubscribing people, so make sure you're subscribed. And the question has been asked, do you think pitchforks and burning torches outside of Congress is too much? Well, I mean, I know that's sort of said jokingly, tongue-in-cheek, but I don't know that the Congress realizes, especially Nancy Pelosi, who turned down a Republican stimulus plan before the election, right?
Yep.
And of course, the Republicans are having a field day with that, as well they should, because they can blame her, even though both parties are culpable in this awful situation we're in. But I don't think Republicans, Democrats, Congress, the Senate, I don't think they really realize what's coming, or they've been getting away with just bitch slapping the American people, that they're just like, they're not going to rise up, because I don't think people realize that the big things that are happening. So December 26th, so they extended everybody's unemployment, right? First of all, the $600 thing ran out the end of August. Then in September-ish or whatever, they came up with another, and they added that either $300 to $400. It was the feds put in $300, and some states kicked in an additional $100, giving it $400. They didn't do that in California. They only gave us an additional $300. So already that $600 thing got cut in half, and now that's over. And now they're just extending your unemployment, and that all runs out right at Christmas. And then what happens is, at that same time, end of December, beginning of January, all of the protections of you can't evict somebody. So our government hasn't paid off anybody's back rent or mortgage, is what they should have done. They didn't. So now everybody out there with anywhere from 3 to 8, 9 months of back rent, now they can evict you. So that means there's going to be mass evictions at the beginning of the year. And no stimulus plan on the horizon? I mean, we're 5 weeks, 6 weeks away from Christmas, from the end of the year. I mean, we're literally less than 6 weeks away from the end of the year, and there's no stimulus. And I don't know that the politicians in both of these awfully corrupt parties realize when 30 million evictions happen, when people are out of money. I mean, we're seeing in video after video after video in LA, in Dallas, in big cities all over the place, and food banks all over the country, big cities, small cities, the lines around the block, miles long, people in their cars. We just saw that in Dallas, 25,000 cars, miles long. People can't. And they interview some people on the streets. They're like, well, the food bank's running low, because most food banks are based on donations, which is it's heartwarming to see all these Americans helping each other out, but we're screwed. We have to help each other out because the federal government isn't doing a goddamn thing. So Ron, my question to you is, did the politicians that in both of these corrupt parties, do they understand what's coming?
Absolutely. Graham, they're great people. They have their ear to the ground. They understand the American public, and they care. And they feed them. I heard it from Nancy Pelosi. It's got to be true. They feed them every day. They feed them. No, absolutely not. I mean, I'm at the point now where, I think that everybody deserves to lose their job. I don't think one person in the Congress or Senate should still have their job. I think we should just, in a perfect world, and I tweeted this, I think we should just abolish all of it at this point. Abolish the presidency, abolish the Senate, and replace the House with just a people's legislature. And by the way, the Declaration of Independence gives us the right to do that. Would it be messy as far as like orchestrating something like that and having a people's legislature? Of course. Would it be susceptible to corruption? Yeah, it would be. Would there be some difficult hurdles to overcome? Yeah. Would it be flawed? Absolutely. Would it be shittier than what we have now? I honestly don't think it would. I think if we just had a people's legislature where we just met as a populace and determined our own laws and governed ourselves, I don't think it would be shittier than the banana republic corporate coup of a government that we have now. I think it'd be difficult to try to be shittier because you know what? Doing endless war would be a hell of a lot more difficult. That wouldn't really be much of a thing anymore. And look around. I mean, look what happened during this pandemic. There's a lot of people, the only reason they're still afloat right now is because of their neighbors, is because of, mutual aid networks that people started organizing and stuff like that. It's not because of the federal government that left the people out in the cold, which, by the way, it's not a, quote, handout to get support during a pandemic.
Right.
That's one of the things the federal government is for. That's one of the reasons, at least what you're told, that you pay taxes every year. Now, granted, it's not even necessary because of MMT, but still, the agreement that you make, you pay taxes for a number of reasons. One of them being, at least what you're told, again, it's a lie, but what you're told is in the case of a once-in-a-century pandemic, they got your back. So the fact that the American people have basically been told to go fuck themselves while Wall Street has gotten a handout upon handout upon handout upon handout, it's not just a government not looking out for its people. It's a government stealing from its people. It's theft. And every day you need to wake up and you need to realize that they're stealing from you. They've been stealing from you. And all these politicians on Twitter tweeting these nice policies that they're not really doing anything for, trying to appease you, fuck them. Don't like it. Don't retweet it. Ratio it. And every ratio, it should just be a comment saying, what the fuck are you doing to get us closer to that? Because they're all, and then you see people like Marco Rubio going, oh, the media is not nice to Republicans. You're a guy who ducked town halls because you were worried people would troll you too much, and you got away with it. Our entire government is a grift, and they are all guilty until proven guilty, and they should all be replaced, every last one of them. It's a corporate coup, and it's a fucking joke, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, you bring up great points. It's Mike Gravel outlined something similar to what you're talking about of how we could have, open source blockchain, safe, secure online elections that people just vote on bills. That's it. There's no Congress. There's no Senate. So what you get rid of Congress and Senate and the filthy White House. Now, what are the lobbyists going to do? Oh, wow. They might have to sit down and suck their own dicks. That's what they're going to have to do because they're out. They're gone. They're done. And he puts out outlines in his book about how pieces of legislation can only be 500 words. They have to be in plain English. They can't be legalese, so you can't hide these things. So what if the American populace, oh, there's this bill up next week. We all got to go online and vote for it. We read it. Oh, yeah, I'm in. We vote for it. And they're done. And I'm so sick. And I think that's what it's going to take because the country's so divided. I think that would unite the country is, hey, we're going to wipe out both these filthy parties. You think your party's better than the other one? They're not. They're all awful. And I think most people would go, you know what? If you take out that other party, I'll let you take out mine because my party sucks too. They're all filthy. They're all filthy animals. We're sick of these two shitty choices. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. Let the people actually govern the country. And
right. And just so... Well, I was just going to add, just so people don't accuse us of being total idealists here, what would the lobbyists try to do? Well, the lobbyists would try to go over to the people's legislature and influence it. And we see that on ballot measures all over the country. I mean, we saw it here recently in California, especially with Prop 22, where Uber and Lyft spent millions and millions of dollars to get people to vote against their own interests. So there would have to be some protections with all this. It wouldn't be without its flaws. It wouldn't be without its struggles. But would it be better than the, scam of a representative government we have now? I solely believe that it would. And this pandemic has convinced me of that, because you know what? This pandemic has really revealed just how ugly our government and the corporatocracy is. But what it also revealed was just how good of a society we are in many ways when it comes to people looking out for each other. There is that side of it. And that's the side that keeps me optimistic and keeps me hopeful, not just in this country, but in humanity in general, quite frankly. So, there is that side of it. And that's why I think we'd be better off with a people's legislature. I do have faith in the American public. I have zero faith in our government, and I have zero faith in our system.
Nice. Yeah, you are seeing everybody help each other out. You are seeing a lot of that. Now, the news and the media and the social media and everything, they want us to think that we're all fighting with each other, because that's what they need. Because if we all get together, then what we're talking about actually happens. They need us divided so that we don't get together and say, we're burning down Congress. You're done. We're going to set it up. We're done. You're all done. You're all done. So they got to keep us fighting with each other. But I think their arrogance is really going to come back to bite them in the ass around January, February, because all of the markets are going to crash. All of the bubbles, the financial bubbles are going to burst. And I think they have no idea. They have no idea what that's going to do and how Americans are going to react. And it's going to be nuts. And hopefully some good will come out of it, which I think it will. Because I think Americans will be so confronted with how shitty everything is, and they're going to be hungry and on the streets, and they're going to be like, no. And they're going to be forced to rise up. Because
I think it's already happening. I mean, even just as little as, so many people are showing up now in a voting booth. Well, figuratively in a voting booth and on the streets. And it's because it's like, yeah, you can't ignore it. It's everywhere. We're amidst a pandemic. It was completely mishandled in every way, shape, and form. And we're seeing how vulnerable our system is. We're seeing where our system has gotten us, where like the smallest, hindrance of the chain breaks it, because we're just this insane capitalistic system eating itself at the behest of the 1%. And we were heading off a cliff, and now we're stuck in a ditch. And the one bright spot of all that is we have a chance to get out of the ditch and drive away from the freaking cliff into the beach. And that's what I hope we do.
So do I, Ron Placone. Shave your knuckles for justice. 675 people watching. All right. Welcome, everybody. If you're new to the show, please hit the subscribe button. I go live 4 or 5 days a week, and I drop 2 to 3 clips a day. So subscribe to the channel. We need your subscriptions. YouTube is unsubscribing people at an alarming rate. So please make sure you subscribe. And yeah. And then, hit the like button, which helps. Let's see how many likes we currently have. We've got 483. Let's get that over 500, everybody. And let's answer some more super chats.
My cat's on my lap. She jumped on my lap a little bit ago. She's like, "You're yelling about the oligarchy again." I'm here to make you feel better. That's my job as your furry companion.
She
comforts me and calmed down a little bit.
What's that?
Yeah, exactly. That's her gig. She gets it now. She probably knows the word oligarchy at this point in her life. She's like, whenever my human says oligarchy loudly and angrily, or government or anything like that, or corporatocracy, I know he's pissed off. I don't exactly understand what it all means, but I should probably go over there and jump on his lap and let him pet me.
Because nobody says the oligarchs like happy, like the oligarchs. Hey, the oligarchs are here. Like nobody said it that way.
The oligarchs are here. I got the mimosas. Brunch.
Brunch is back, everybody. We're not canceling brunch. The oligarchs are here. Oh, no, you didn't. Right? Not some reality show called The Oligarchs. The Kardashians, whatever it's called. The cynical syndicalist. Thank you for supporting our program. You're making Gotham great again. It's difficult to spark a revolution when the majority is drowning in debt. The oligarchs have included the masses, inculcated the masses with insecurity, which leads to fear and doubt, which causes a form of paralysis. That might be that's a very accurate thing, I believe. That's
right on.
That's an excellent point you made.
Well, that's why general strike's so hard, because it's like, and I get it, I mean, people like you and I, it's like the strike doesn't really apply to us because we're creatives and,
right.
And I always say, I'm like, dude, we want to do our part. We want to be a communication vehicle that helps. Like, that's our role to play in this, and we're ready to play it. But I get it. It's not easy for people to just go on strike when they're one paycheck away from just going under.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. And that's by design, but it's still, it needs to happen. We need to have a general strike. Like, we need to.
Sorry, there's a bunch of super chats I missed. Let me get to them. Annabelle Corley, Shaver Knuckles for Justice. Anyone in Trump's family is a solid pick for 2024. No red flags there. Yes. Yep, they'll be great. They'll be great. They'll make America great again. Again
squared.
Again squared. Twice as we'll get two agains. America will be so great. We'll go again and again on how great we've agained it.
I feel like that's a parody T-shirt we need to make. We need to make like a parody T-shirt, like Don Jr., Democrat for president, and then and make sure it says Democrat for president because that makes it funnier. And then have like MAGA squared.
Yeah. Make America again. DC Punk, what's up? Ba-boom. Schumer in 1 week will eliminate all student debt. I meant $50,000 which means testing, of course. Like I said, $10,000 after we evict an entire generation due to lockdowns and medical bills. Did you hear about the Dodgers?
Perfect. Yes. That's why my prediction by January is going to be $50.
Yeah, it'll be $50.
$50 by January.
We're knocking $50 off your student debt. Congratulations. A234, shave them. Hey guys, it's Amanda. I'm in Austin, Texas. When am I getting legal weed and mushrooms?
Probably soon, because everybody and their mother is moving to Austin.
Yeah.
So, Austin's already a pretty lefty place. It's going to be even more so because everybody and their mother is moving to Austin. Traffic's going to suck even more, but everyone's coming there. It seems like every other day someone tells me they're moving to Austin. Just this morning, a buddy of mine was saying he's moving to Austin. And I love Austin. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I have more friends to visit there.
Yes. We'll be back on tour there, hopefully.
Yeah.
Wanchat there and all. Wanchat, what's up? Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Reform capitalism equals reform cancer cells. Yep, that'll happen quickly. Tony DeMeo, I swear half the CNN hosts are robots. Half? Maybe 80%? RGZ, Ragers. I guess that's what you mean. Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Emblem Fate. Joe uses dead son character Clarity to excrete cash. Thank you. Sam Dean, what's up, Sam? Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, everybody. I know we probably got a lot of new viewers or people coming over from Jimmy or whatever. I don't think he went live today, but hit the subscribe button because I got a lot of hot, fresh content for you. Also, Ron Placone and I are doing a stand-up comedy show this Saturday, November 21st, 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern time. The tickets are $10. Just go to my Venmo, which is at Graham-Elwood, and just tell me, because I get donations for other stuff through Venmo. So tell me that you want tickets to the November 21st comedy show. And then probably a half hour, a little bit before we start the show, I'll start emailing out everybody the Zoom link. It takes a while to do it through Venmo. But yes, so come to our comedy show. Sam Dean, here's some marriage advice, Ron. If your new wife asks for bath stuff next Valentine's Day, do not buy her a toaster. You've been warned, mate.
I don't think that's something she'd ever ask. I don't think she would like trust me with that task. You know, like, what do you want for Valentine's Day? Bath stuff. What does
Yeah.
that mean? Stuff for a bath. Just get it. Like she would know, like, because I wouldn't know what to do. I would probably get like something that I would like,
a
which would
scrub
be
brush.
I would get comic book themed bubbles because that would be what would come to my mind first, and I would be like, let's relive childhood, and I would get like Batman or Spider bubbles and be like, here you go, baby, let's do it. And she'd be like, yeah, I don't know why I asked you for something like that. That was a weird thing to impose on you, but yeah, I can't picture her ever asking for that. I do. I'm good at picking out chocolate that she likes. I do a good job with that. So she'll probably be like, aces in their places. You do the chocolate thing well. Give me some of that.
Good. All right.
Jesse, thank you, Sam Dean.
Thank you, Sam Dean. We appreciate that. Shave your knuckles for justice. Did any of you see Rudy Giuliani's brain fluid drip?
It was pretty funny looking. It looked like liquid shit was pouring from his head. And it was hair dye. It was like hair dye coming down his face, but it was like all brown and stuff. It looked like liquid shit just coming from his head. And he couldn't answer any questions. It was pretty funny.
It was like, this is the same Giuliani who like 20 years ago, everyone was like, man, he's a hero for how he handled 9/11 and all this stuff. Everybody loved him. And now, you know, he does that thing in front of Four Seasons, you know, lawn care by the dildo shop or whatever. And then this thing with the hair dye, like, oh God, it's unbelievable.
Well, in the, did you see the new Borat? I mean, have you seen it? Yeah. I mean, there was that moment. So
yeah, him having sex with a child. Yeah. They're wanting to. Yeah. There's that. Jeremy Chase. What's up, Jeremy? Thanks for supporting the show. Shave your knuckles for justice. Just because you're making Gotham great again, Jeremy. Everything Revolution. How are you doing? In today's revolution climate is when you pick up instruments and start a punk band. What creative advice do you have?
Wait, what is, are they saying that they should do that?
In today's revolution climate is I guess, is today's revolutionary climate when you pick up instruments to start a punk band? And what creative advice do you have?
I mean, I don't know if, I don't know if they're like trying to be like tongue in cheek with that, but if you're actually asking as far as starting a punk band, man, I wish I knew today. I mean, it's so much. I mean, I know a lot of my musician friends. The big trick today is just getting your music out there as much as you can, getting on Pandora, getting on Spotify, obviously touring when it's possible. Right now it really isn't, but touring when you can. It used to be like there was kind of a circuit and you would try to find like a band to take you under their wing. I'm sure all of that still happens to an extent, but I think it's just so much more spread out and fragmented. And so, yeah, I mean, it's, and I feel like everything needs a music video these days. All my friends with bands, it's like, you can't just make one music video and album. You basically have to make a music video for every song you want to get out there and put it on YouTube. So I think man, comics don't necessarily have it easy, but I think bands, I can't imagine what it's like starting a band today. But having fun's the most important part. So
there you go, kids. Just have fun. Altruistic nerd, Shave your knuckles for justice. Any thoughts about Trump's team making a case for paper ballots for election integrity? I mean, honestly, our whole election system is completely flawed. Both parties cheat. I'm all for, blockchain, secure, open source, transparent online voting. The technology's there. We can do it. we have voting machines and all this crap that's like years, decades old. So, I don't, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, our elections are a complete. It's just. I mean, it's darkly comical. Like it's almost like. I mean, you feel like, and this was the case in 2016 and 2018 and 2020. It'll be the case in 2022 probably, and before that and after that. I mean, you look at these machines and how susceptible they are, and it looks like something out of The Onion. Like it's a parody of itself, but it's serious. Like this is actually our system. Meanwhile, they can somehow tally things very securely for American Idol. It's just like, so yeah. I mean, we need to do better, and that's been the case for a long, long time now, and still is.
There's trillions of dollars every day in banking transactions that happen that are safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like if banks were regularly getting hacked and all this money was getting stolen every day, we wouldn't do it. We would have been like, oh, we can't do banking online. They figured it out. They can have encrypted video calls. They can figure this out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it should all be done completely open source. The counts should all be public, completely public, like every count should just be live streamed. Every single one.
Yes.
It should be live streamed. It should be complete open. There should be monitors everywhere. People watching it, like anyone, media, whoever watching it 24 hours a day, taking shifts. I mean, it should all be out in the open. All of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cody117. Hey guys, want to check out the new Denmark study on mask? I'm not anti-mask or think the virus is fake, but I think cloth masks are borderline a false sense of security and we should have N95s. There might be some truth to that for sure. I mean, look, hospitals, operating rooms, they use cloth masks 60, 70 years ago or whatever. And they realized that, the whatever N95 type masks are better. So I'm all for that. I'm all for a study that just is finding what's the best type of mask to use. Yeah. And I agree too. Like if they say you got to use N95s or better, that's what I use. I bought a bunch of N95s online a couple months ago and that's what I use when I go out. So
I don't use an N95 when I go running, admittedly. Like when I go for a run, I just use cloth, but I'm also running, so I'm not really around anybody.
Yeah, I mean, when I ride my bike, I had this mask with a filter on it. It definitely was not a cloth mask. Had like the breathing valves and all that shit. And so, that's fine, I guess. Hey. And I appreciate you sending that and saying you're not an anti-masker and just like, let's ask the study. That's how you should do it. It's like, instead of just going, Denmark says masks are fake. COVID's fake. Like, no, that's not what Denmark said. So, thank you though. That's a good thing to bring up. Annabelle Corley, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Big Vegemite will be all over the Socialist Toaster Australian tour.
I like Vegemite, but I need someone who knows what they're doing to help me. When I did it myself, I didn't like it. But when that nice family whose place I almost accidentally burned down made it for me, I liked it.
You need a certified Australian Vegemite mechanic to install your Vegemite onto your toast.
Yeah, and it's probably best if they make the toast too, I guess.
And not burn down a home.
And not burn down the house.
While the guy that you're staying with is suddenly mysteriously at yoga when all this happens. You know what I mean?
It was weird. You went to yoga. That's something you've never done before. I thought it was a bit strange that all of a sudden you're going to yoga. I was like, that's the thing you do? And you were like, I've heard of it.
I'm a suspect. Oh, I'm like the Jack Ruby in this now all of a sudden.
You brought it up.
Oh, wow. Weird. This is a weird twist of fate.
That is a plot twist.
Very. Austin Voigt, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Graham, I hope you understand that gun ownership is a big responsibility. Are those vegan guns registered and stored safely? Oh, yeah, bitch. They are. They're safe, but I can unlock them at any moment, and they're ready to go. I hope you're ready. Are you hungry? I got 2 meals for you, lunch and dinner. And that's all you can eat. Melissa H. What's up, Melissa? How you doing? Woman business owner I know in town who is smart told me yesterday that Biden's cabinet will be diverse. We all need at least one good laugh each day. No, here's what you say. It will be diverse in terms of ethnicity and all that, but it'll be a diverse group of warmongering, pro-Wall Street capitalists. That's what it'll be, diverse.
But it'll be diverse in expertise too. There will be weapons experts, there will be war experts, there will be fossil fuel experts. There was a lot of diversity there. A lot of diversity. There will be experts at separating families at the border. Oh yeah, that's who he's looking at.
Yep. A lot of
I bet Mitt Romney will get a gig.
Fracking experts. Yeah, tax evasion for the 1% experts. It'll be really great. Annarella Rivera. Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Love you and Ron both. Thank you for keeping Gotham safe. I love Lucy. Cat heart. Meow meow.
Thank you.
If there was a black cat emoji, there should be.
There should be, is right.
Louise Brooks. Louise. Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Look at those vegan guns. Look at them in the new studio. Oh, so good. What's the freak out over the Georgia Senate seats when Manchin doesn't give up a majority anyway? Just performance drama? Yes, absolutely. See the networks, like if you're so pay attention to two things. How much the networks are talking about and keeping people interested. And then all those donation emails you get. I get all these donation emails from the Democratic Party. And Trump's getting them. Trump supporters are getting them too. So both of these just parasitic parties are squeezing money, every penny out of people in the middle of a pandemic when there's no stimulus. Like Trump is sending out, help me fight this election thing. The Democrats are like, we need your money to help. They're still asking for money, both parties. So it is just good theater. This is just great kabuki theater. What's going to happen in Georgia? They got all that lead up to the election. They had that week of the map show, and now they've got Georgia hangs in the balance. Wolf Blitzer breaks it down, or whatever. It's just.
Now, if we had a people's legislature, we'd be talking about what to do with our treasury and how to give it to everybody. That's what we'd be talking about. And there'd be people involved trying to corrupt it, of course. Mm-hmm. But wouldn't that be better than getting these bullshit donation emails? Wouldn't you rather have that battle?
Yep.
Just saying.
Wouldn't you rather get an email from the People's Registry saying, this is what's up, this is the ballot measure that's up? Mm-hmm. We want to vote to give this much money to the people and break it down in these terms. And this is how we're going to do it. Real simple, straightforward. And then you might get an email from the don't let the People's Treasury steal they're going to kill your grandmother or whatever. They're going to send out that email.
Yeah, but then it's going to be like, well, wait a second. These other folks who are spending a lot of money telling me not to go with that other team, they're giving me nothing. And just giving it all to Wall Street. I feel like that's a shitty deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Tiara, what's up, Tiara? Shave your knuckles for justice. Graham and Ron, you guys are always such a light. Thank you so much. Robeson 1070. Batar is a good progressive, but he wasn't relatable and not a good candidate. Policy and substance is great and all, but San Franciscans need more. Who will enter neolib Mordor and cast Pelosi's ice cream scoop into the fire? That is a great question. Hello, everybody. You're watching The Political Vigilante. I'm here with Ron Placone. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new to it. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate, so let's fight YouTube, which is owned by Google, which works with the CIA. I wonder why my numbers are going down. And also you can watch us at rockfin.com/GrahamEld, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos that are on YouTube are also on Rockfin. They're ad-free. It is free to sign up for Rockfin. They do have a premium tier at $10 a month, which gets you access to all the premium content on the whole platform. My stuff, Ron stuff, Convo Couch, Nico House, Kim
Jimmy
Iverson,
Dore.
Jimmy Dore, Lee Camp is going to be joining. Dave Anthony from the Dollop is going to be joining. It's a
I think
fantastic.
Rania Kalick just joined.
Rania Kalick joined. Awesome.
I think she did. Yeah.
Fantastic. So the channel just keeps getting better and better. But make sure you hit the subscribe button. So Ron, why do you think Shahid Buttar lost to Nancy Pelosi? Now we met him. I mean, he came on the Jimmy Dore show. He came to our show in San Francisco, which was cool a year ago. He's one of the many progressives that came out. I would have loved for him to have defeated Nancy Pelosi. She obviously pulled a smear tactic. They threw out some sort of, Me Too thing on him. I don't know how valid it is, but it really seemed like it was just a tactic to take him out. But also, Nancy Pelosi stays in office because she has one of the wealthiest districts. All these wealthy people in Northern California, the tech people, she takes care of them. And that's part of what he was up against. What do you think caused him to not win?
Yeah, and I like Shahid. I mean, I think he actually would make a very good elected official. And, in fairness, too, he did get more votes than any other challenger did in decades against her. I think it's a matter of he was going up against a political juggernaut. And, getting back to something that we said earlier in the program, the establishment Democrats really learned a lesson from Joe Crowley when AOC took him out. And that lesson was, do not validate these progressive challengers. Do not grant them a debate. Do not say their name. Do not acknowledge them. Do not even say anything that they exist, so that when people go to the polls and when people go to vote, they just don't realize there's a valid alternative. They don't realize there's an actual contender, and they just vote for what they know. And Nancy Pelosi has a hell of a lot of name recognition in that district, which also, another thing worth mentioning is San Francisco proper, where that district's at. And this is what people who live there have said to us and have said to me and Graham, and when we play there, what people have said. It's actually not all that progressive because it's very Silicon Valley-y. It's very unaffordable. The creative class got kicked out to Oakland, and then a lot of them got kicked down to Portland, really. It's not an affordable place, so it's much more just kind of neoliberal than progressive.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to my cousin who grew up in San Francisco, has a band called Junk Parlor. Check him out. And he goes, and he doesn't live in the city. And he goes, Graham, the soul of San Francisco is gone. He said it's all got taken over by the tech companies. And that's why the rents are through the roof. And now there's a horrible homeless problem. And now the street drugs have gotten out of control. And he said, it's just, you can't afford to live there. There's no progressive, movement of the people, the way that thing you've always identified with San Francisco that we all have. Oh, that's where the real activists, lefties live. They're gone. They left. They got pushed out because it's too expensive there now. So that's why Pelosi stays in power. It's absolutely correct, because now it's just rich tech people.
Yeah.
Rich tech people, they don't give a damn about fixing homelessness or any. They're just neoliberals. They just want to put a rainbow flag on their $100,000 car and say, there, I did it. That's how I helped.
Yeah. I mean, my sister left that city recently. She lived in San Francisco, and it just got to the point where they, her and her husband were just like, gee, it is so freaking expensive here. And they just, they kind of saw the city change over the years. I mean, she was out there 8 years, and the kind of soul of San Francisco, like what your cousin describes, it is literally dying, because I mean, you do have a handful of like beatniks and so forth that have like been grandfathered in parts of North Beach. They're still hanging on, but they're older people. Like they're literally dying off because they're older, and there's not a new generation stepping in because they've all been priced out of it. So yeah, it's a different place. I mean, I still love that area. I still love that city, and there's still a lot going on in the Bay Area and so forth. But yeah, San Francisco proper, it's really been, the creative class has really been pushed out of there to a pretty big degree. So
yeah, because like you said, because it's so priced, there's no new young, because that would be the thing. Then younger artists would move in, and they would keep that, the hippie vibe and that open, creative, and now it's not. Now it's just tech people. I did a Julian Assange march a little over a year ago. I think it was like May of 2019. And I thought, oh man, this is going to be huge at San Francisco. And there was a decent turnout, but people were like, huh? And some tech guy on his phone's like, what are you guys doing? And he said something about Julian Assange. And I said, you are literally repeating a State Department talking point. And I spoke at this rally, and it was like you say, mostly older people who had grown up in San Francisco their whole lives, and then some younger people. But that's literally when my cousin said, we went out to eat after he came to the rally, and he goes, yeah, the soul of San Francisco is dead. It's gone. Because he had to move out. He couldn't afford it. So yeah, I think it's just the big money basically is what defeated Shahid Buttar.
Yeah.
To answer that question. I mean, but again, I don't know. I mean, AOC gave a lot of people hope, like, oh, we could take the party over this way. And the Democratic Party said, absolutely not. And now my firm belief is when she got elected, I was like, this is huge. This is huge. And then she started to acquiesce, to the Democratic establishment. And now my firm belief is it is impossible to reform that party from within. So if you want to beat Nancy Pelosi, you got to come as an independent, and you better get some financing somehow, or the Movement for a People's Party needs to go after that district or something, and get some big name people running and big name people behind you. Otherwise, I'm a progressive and I'm running against her in the primary. Ain't going to work. It's not going to work.
Well, I think too, another thing that happened recently that I think a lot of folks aren't realizing just how significant that is that AOC was saying publicly that she might want to get out of electoral politics. That shows you what the system really is. That shows you, the impossibility of really just completely taking over the Democratic Party. The fact that she's just at the point where she's like, I don't even know if I want to be in electoral politics anymore. And I'm not saying AOC's perfect. She's done some stuff that has frustrated me. She's done some other stuff that I liked. But, it really just goes to show you what the system really is. And that breaking up the duopoly, it's just, we have to do it. Like it has to happen. I mean, this whole, the Democratic establishment is set up so that a progressive takeover can't happen. A lot of these grassroots candidates, they don't have a ton of funding, and the Democratic establishment spent over $50 million crushing them. Crushing them is a bigger priority than beating Republicans. You got to go outside the system when that's the case, and you got to break up this duopoly. And by the way, when you do that, the progressives that have infiltrated, you're doing them a favor. It's not like, oh, it's either or. If we have a viable alternative to these two corrupt parties, a couple things could happen. One, the progressives that have infiltrated thus far can switch teams. They can go over. Or two, we're going to have a multi-party system because the duopoly is not going to give up without a fight. We're going to get ranked choice voting. And if that were the case, you would see alliances form, where you would see alliances between, say, MPP members or Greens or whatever, and progressive Democrats that have infiltrated the Democratic Party. And then either the Democratic Party would just be completely taken over and it would just end kind of like what happened with the Whigs, where it's just not a thing anymore. Or we'd have more than two parties and the Democratic Party would actually have to be a centrist party, which it isn't now. It's a right-wing party. Right.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next year, because I don't know that America is going to look the way it does right now anymore in the future. I don't think it's gonna.
I don't think so either.
I think there's going to be some drastic changes, and there's some changes maybe we haven't even foreseen yet. There might be some states or regions seceding on their own. There might be, I don't know. It's going to be history. If you study history at all, America is lining up exactly like empires that collapse and get broken up. So,
yep.
We'll see what happens. Shavy Douglas for justice. Boom. Hit the like button, kitty cats. Come on now. What are we at? We're at 500 and we crossed 600 likes. I love it. I absolutely love it. Ron, why don't you tell everybody about our show Saturday?
We got a show Saturday, November 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be over on Zoom. It's probably going to be our last Zoom show of the year. We're going to go all out. There's going to be stand-up, songs, characters, you name it. Tickets for that, $10. Venmo Graham at, it's just Graham-Elwood. Venmo him and mention that it's for the show on November 21st. You'll get a Zoom link shortly before the show starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on November 21st. And we cannot wait to see you there.
Yeah, we haven't done one of these shows since September, I think. And so we're kind of fired up.
It's going to be awesome.
Jeremy Chase, boom, Worker Controller Production. You got that right, brother. You
got
that right. Let me make sure I... Mick Wazoo, Shaver Knuckles for Justice. Can you guys say hi to my wife, Carla Vosiem? Hi, Carla.
Hello, Carla. How are you?
How are you? I hope you have a lovely day. All right, there's a couple I missed. Dig it, Dave. Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Centrism is Stockholm Syndrome. It is. It really is. They're acting like hostage victims who are bonding with their captors. Like, that's a great point, man. Matt Ash, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. For you and Ron, what would be a satisfying outcome from a general strike? Ooh, great question.
It's a fun question.
I think for me, I would like to see out of a general strike all these big companies, Walmart, Amazon, McDonald's, forced to unionize. I would like to see real stimulus given to the American people, not Wall Street, during this pandemic. I'd like to see the military budget cut, like drastically, at least 30 to 40%, if not a full 50%. Yeah. Student debt forgiveness. I'd like to see free health care from the general strike, Medicare for all. I don't know, Ron.
Yeah, I mean, I echo all those sentiments too. I mean, as far as like, what would I be hoping for that is, something reasonable to expect? I would want unionization, absolutely. And I would want significant wage increases. And I would want safety to be taken a lot more seriously for those who are keeping our grocery stores open and working those essential jobs. Until the pandemic is completely over, nobody should be working more than 4 hours at a time. I thoroughly believe that. Unless, I get, it's a little more complicated for like nurses and doctors and stuff like that. So that would have to be handled in a different way, because I know they're really needed to save lives and stuff like that. But as far as like grocery stores, nobody should be working more than a 4-hour shift at a time. They should be getting paid for 8, but they shouldn't be working more than 4. Wages should be bumped up significantly. There should be hazard pay constantly. Unions should happen. There should be strong unions and actual representative unions, not corrupt ones at the top. And yeah, basically forcing the corporatocracy to give their fair share. And healthcare would be great as well during the pandemic, and rent forgiveness. Basic things that should have happened to begin with should happen. And I think that if we as a society shut it down, what's the famous Eugene Debs quote where it's like, well, we can operate the machine without them, but they can't operate the machine without us. That's the way it goes for society. I mean, hey, we even call it essential workers. It's called essential workers. So you know what? If the essential workers say, screw you, we're not making this delivery, we're not doing this, well, then, the plutocrats, they gotta give up some. So yeah, that's what I would like to see. Yep,
I agree with all that. Good question, Matt. Really good question. The cynical syndicalist. Boom! You're making Gotham great again, cynical syndicalist. The crimes of this guilty land will never be purged away, but with blood. John Brown, 1859. It applied then and it applies now. Whew, sadly, I think you're right. Egg 64. Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Biden is means testing student loan forgiveness. What the fuck? I know.
What all does that involve, really? I mean, hey, would your life be better if your student loan debt was forgiven? Would you have more money to put into the frickin' economy? That's how money in an economy works. Yes? Well, I think we need some more testing.
It's
what the fuck?
There's no test. It's so simple. 85% of student loans are from the federal government. So the president literally, with the swipe of a pen, can go, done. You don't have to pay it back. They don't need tax money for it. It's just not collecting debts that have money that's already been given out. So it's good. Gee, what test do I need to run? Oh, so now, like, I don't know. Do you know simple math, Biden? Like, anyone who's got a whatever $300-400 a month student loan payment, that's gone now. So they're going to have that $300-400 to now spend on other things in the economy. Wow.
It's almost like means testing is code for, like, well, but would that make us not a dick? If it makes us not a dick, we can't do it.
Right.
It's like, I can forget, but would it make me, like, not a dick if I did? Yeah, for a brief moment, you'd be not a dick. You'd be a leader who's not a dick. Well, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know.
I don't know if I can not be a dick because I'm Joe Biden. I got to sniff your hair. I'm a filthy creep. But I also think he doesn't want to give Trump any ideas because Trump might just go, oh, all right, I can do that with a pen. All right, here, done. And then that takes Biden's thunder away from, I came in and saved us from COVID. You know, if Trump's like all about worried about his legacy, which is why I think he's trying to pull people out of Iraq and Afghanistan, even though he's not pulling everyone out. He's just drawing down the number of troops. But that's something Trump might just go, okay. I mean, Trump might want to just blow everything up before he leaves. There's still that potential. He won't concede yet. But Trump might also just go, all right, I'm giving everybody student debt forgiveness. See, I'm better than the Democrats. He might just do that, which
it'd be nice. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. I know, so, oh, he might do this. He might do. I'm like, yeah, he hasn't really given indications of much positive. I mean, the thing in obviously the troop withdrawal is a big thing, but everybody around him is pushing back on that. And what's sad is, like, you're seeing it on both sides too. You're seeing Democrats and Democratic loyalists attack him from the right on it.
Yeah, they're agreeing with Mitch McConnell.
They're agreeing with Mitch McConnell.
Democrats and Mitch McConnell are all in agreement that pulling troops out is a bad idea. It just shows you nothing unifies these two parties better than somebody saying we want to end wars. Then they all lock up together and go, oh, no. We need war. We need so much war. Tony, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Hello from San Diego. Sweet home San Diego. God, I love San Diego. Great city. Great city. I've had so much fun in San Diego. Hold on. Crush Renata, making Gotham great again. So for people like Cenk and Kyle who believe third parties aren't viable options, how do you convince them and other progressives to stop sheeping us into Dems? I don't know those guys personally, so I've never met Kyle. I like a lot of his work. Cenk I've met. I don't know. I don't know that you can convince them. I just they still think you can reform the Democratic Party from within with zero evidence that that's happening. So I don't know what to say to somebody like that.
Well, I mean, the thing I usually say is, like, look, I get it. Starting a viable alternative is a very tall glass of water. Taking over the Democratic establishment is an incredibly tall glass of water too. Right. And whichever way you slice it, time is not on our side. Now, and I also understand the way the system is set up is it's not set up to have more than two parties. I get that. But, you know, our system's also set up to evolve, and we're also supposed to add to it, and it's supposed to change. And maybe, just maybe, we have to realize that a system put in place by people who also own slaves and would walk 10 feet and then shoot each other to solve their problems isn't necessarily cast in stone. And maybe we can evolve a little further from it. That's the way it was intended anyway. So I think it's time that we, move beyond the duopoly, and we, the people, do have the power to do that.
So if I heard you correctly, you're all for pistols at dawn. Is that what I heard you say? You're all for musket duels.
It is an option. It's on the table.
I would rather have that than these dumb parties bitch slap each other in Congress and the Senate. Like if McConnell and Pelosi just shot each other, how great would that be?
I've seen Hamilton.
Yeah.
I know how it works.
So that's what we want, Crush Renata. I hope that answers your question. Pistols.
Choreographed shooting scenes.
Matt S., I hope you have some deliciously shaved knuckles. For those who have paid for college, how would you address student loan forgiveness for them? A reimbursement? That's a fair question. I think that's not a bad thing to put on the table. If you're going to start doling out, I mean, we've already given what, $4 or $5 trillion to Wall Street and everybody. Some of that money hasn't even been spent yet. So I don't know.
I wouldn't be against it.
I'm not against it.
As far as the principle of it, I mean, I get that where it's like, well, if you paid off your student loans or if you don't have any student loan debt, but it's like, it's for the betterment of society. I mean, and in some ways, it's like the people who use that as an excuse to be against forgiving student loan debt. I mean, that's the same logic as like, well, are you against a cure for cancer because not everybody has cancer and because some people died from it? I mean, it's the same, type of logic there. So, in principle, I kind of, shy away from things like that because student loan forgiveness does affect all of society, even people who don't have student loan debt.
Yeah, it's a great point. Like, I don't have any student loan debt. My college was paid for years ago by my parents.
I don't either.
Yeah, you don't either. But I know this helps everybody. So it's not like, I don't care. Oh, then I should get a check or someone should send my parents a check. Nah, I mean, if you want to include that, that's fine. But it'll benefit society if everybody who has student loan debt, it got wiped out right now. You know how much better that would be for all of our everything?
For all of us.
For all of us.
I mean, it'd be better. Yeah.
Mass evictions, I'm not going to get evicted. I'm not on the verge of eviction, but that's mass evictions isn't good for society. Higher crime rates because people can't pay their bills is not good for society. Higher suicide rates, higher domestic violence, all these things that come with economic collapses, none of those are good for any of us, whether they even affect us or not.
Exactly. And even when you just look at it from the most distant picture, having an educated populace and having a society where, I mean, first of all, if you want any type of democratic experiment to have a chance at working, you need an educated populace. That's a requirement. That's part of the reason our system is so fucked. But also the idea of education becoming solely for the elite, knowledge becoming solely for the elite, that is textbook fascism. So,
that's
would it be great?
I just want to interject here. That is counterproductive to what America was designed for. The aristocracy, that's how it was always run. Their kids got to go to school. The wealthy get to go to colleges and good schools. The poor don't. And America was set up to be, no, we're not that. We are the country for everybody. That's why we have good public schools. And that's why that's how you can. That's what the American dream was built on. You work hard, you go to school, you can be anything in this country. That's what it was built on. So if we go back to, and we're already kind of leaning in that direction where only the wealthy can send their kids to college, then we don't have a free society, as Ron is talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't be against some kind of reimbursement for people who recently paid off loans, or especially if they just came to terms with, hey, this was a predatory system that really screwed over a lot of people, so we're going to make this right. I certainly wouldn't be against that. But as far as, I just want college to be tuition free, and I just want that to happen. And I want student loan debt to be wiped out, and whether that does anything for the people who don't have any student loan debt, that's kind of very secondary to me, because it benefits all of society anyway, regardless of whether you have student loan debt or not.
Yep. 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 Um, Crush Renata, what's up? Making Gotham great again. What's the excuse from the left going to be for blacks when Barack's third leads to zero police reform or BLM any issues? They still waiting on that meeting. What's the excuse from the left going to be to black people? Oh yeah. No, that's a great point. I understand what you're saying now. No, I know. We're basically, yeah, you're saying Biden is basically just Obama's third term. Yeah, I know. All the people that protested this past summer for Black Lives Matter and George Floyd and Jacob Blake and everybody, when they see Biden and Kamala not defund the police, not get rid of private prisons, not address any of the real issues that cause systemic racism, not do any of those things. How is that? I mean, this is the thing Ice Cube was asking for, and he took a lot of shit for it when he was like, okay, we beat Trump. Now what? Like, I'm not seeing anything for the black community, and that's going to happen. You're not going to see much for the black community. You're going to see stuff for the Wall Street community, for private prisons. They're going to get theirs. Pharmaceutical companies, the war machine, they'll all get those. Communities will be well taken care of. But police violence isn't going to stop under this presidency. It's not.
Oh, absolutely not. Well, and there was a beautiful moment that went viral where there was a young black activist. I forget her name off the top of my head, but she was, she was, I think, like 19 or 20 years old. And, she was confronted by or interviewed by CNN. And they just said something along the lines of, well, now that Trump's gone, things can probably go back to normal. And she said to them, as a young black woman growing up in the contemporary United States, what is your normal? What's this normal we're happy to go back to? And she pointed out, because, during the Obama years, I was out here protesting for Michael Brown, protesting for Tamir Rice, protesting, I mean, all these other, protesting against, George Zimmerman. So she was like, what's your normal? We're still out here. Nothing's gotten better. And, so I think there's a lot of folks that are really awake to this. And, all Joe Biden has offered is shoot him in the leg. That's what Joe Biden has offered. And he picked a cop as his VP.
Yeah, cop VP. Great question, Chris Renata. Thank you so much. Brian Scott, Shaver Uncles for Justice. Hi, I'm just an update from our future underground detention facility. It does have Wi-Fi, and sewing gray jumpsuits is fun. Oh, thank you, Brian. Good update. That's good to know. I wasn't aware of that. It's good information to have, everybody. Brian coming to us from a future detention center. It's so good. They're making rainbow jumpsuits too. That's good. I think I missed one. Jason Milton, Shaver Douglas for Justice. Jason, Ron, do you think that Trump is going to flee the country once he is not president to avoid New York State charges because Trump owes over $400 million in debt?
No, probably not. I mean, if he wants to go somewhere, I mean, I suppose he could, but I don't think he'll really face consequences. He's already declared how many bankruptcies. I mean, this whole idea that the really rich ever face real consequences for their actions, I just don't entertain it. Like, I don't see anything really happening to him.
And Biden has said as much. Look, I did a story. I'll just bring it up. I think I might still have it. I just covered this the other day. I think it's dropped already if it hasn't. I just want to show, to answer your question, Jason, will Joe Biden do anything? That's not it. Maybe I got rid of it.
Well, and I had a moment the other day too, where and this isn't directed at you, Jason, because I know this was not your question, but somebody was saying to me like they're and we were talking about just the election and everything, and they were saying, well, I think Trump, I have a good feeling he's going to go to jail. They're going to put him in jail, and I just said, you kind of sound like the locker up people. You realize that, right? Like, you realize that's how naive you sound right now. If you think Donald Trump's going to go to jail, you're just like the Trumpers that thought Hillary Clinton was going to go to jail. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not. I can't seem to find the article. But anyway, to answer your question, Jason, no. Because Biden said, and it was in CNBC, and I did a story on it. He said he's not going to try to investigate Trump. He wants to heal the country. And I was like, oh, it all sounds good on paper. Oh, let's heal the country. Okay, that's fair. Sure. 70-some million people voted for Donald Trump. All right. But the real reason is what Ron is saying. The presidents, the ruling class protects their own. Donald Trump is part of the ruling class, as is Joe Biden. So part of this is somebody is getting in Trump's ear saying, hey, Trump, if you concede, no one will press charges. Because here's the thing. If you press charges against Trump, then you're then Trump will just say crazy and go, well, point out all of your crimes and everything else like that. They're all filthy guilty. They're all filthy, horrible, soulless, guilty people. And so they're not going to put Trump in jail. They're going to exonerate him just the way they always get exonerated. They're all buddies. And they'll invite Trump to the next presidential dinner, and they'll all hang out and talk about all the people they bombed and whatever else, like nothing.
Yeah. And in a couple years, Donald Trump's going to start a painting career, and he's going to go on Ellen, and he'll be celebrated. I mean, it's only a matter of time. We live in the United States of amnesia, like Gore Vidal said. And, I also think this whole like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to press charges or anything. I'm going to try to heal the country. That's remnant of Obama when he's like, oh, I'm not going to prosecute any of the bankers or anything like that. I'm looking forward.
Yep.
Same thing.
Same thing.
That's what presidents do. That's what the powerful do.
They take care of each other. They all know it. Debbie Wasserman Schultz got fired because of the Podesta emails from the head of the DNC for corruption, hired by the Hillary campaign. Donna Brazile fired by CNN for leaking questions to Hillary, hired by Fox News. They all take care of each other. There's no difference. It's all.
And there's always a book deal to fall back on.
Always a book deal.
There's always a lucrative book deal to fall back on. And hey, here in SoCal, Hollywood agencies, they'll frickin' sign you.
Yeah.
You can be on the roster.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
Parasites. Sam Dean, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Hey, Ron, are you an Australian toaster? Because I'd like to be in you and get hot. You can leave me in there too long until we set off the fire alarm.
Sam, I am a happily married man. Flattered, but a happily married man. Sorry.
All this toaster talk is getting me hot. Wayne Chapman. Ron Graham, do you like Agent Ribbons CDs I left for you at Harlow's in Sacramento? Only one answer is acceptable, by the way. Yes, we like them. Natalie, the lead singer, shares the exact same birth date as Ron, 12/5/84. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Wow. Cool. Fellow
Thanks, Wayne.
Sagittarius. Thank you very much, Wayne.
That was really cool. Man, that was so fun, that shows at Harlow's. Oh, my God. God, I had so much fun in Sacramento.
God, I feel like that was like 10 years ago, but it was this year.
It was this year.
It was like this year.
Our last live shows. Or for Jimmy, that was that weekend.
I just instantly get depressed whenever I think about it. I just get so sad. Like, it's just like so fucking sad.
So sad. It's so sad. Big Baby Zubas. Biden stole from Trump, but he stole from Bernie too. Yeah. Of course he did. Good to see you on the show, Big Baby Zubas. Sam Dean, what's up? Can Granny Petrol sing Money for Nothing, please, mate? We'll see. We're going to wrap it up. Kate, after the election, who is the new orange man bad? I'm seeing Biden talk about upping troops in Syria already. Yeah. No, it'll be Trump will be gone, and then it'll be Assad's back to his old tricks, or maybe it's time to finally boot. I think there's going to be boots on the ground in either Iran, Syria, or Venezuela. That's my prediction.
Well, I guess the one thing that I really do have hope in, and I was kind of saying this before the election, and I hope this ends up being the case. There is no orange man bad now, and I hope that wakes a new slew of people up to the duopoly. I really hope that that's what happens, and I do have some reasons. I think we all have reasons to feel that will be the case. This is not 2008. This is not where Barack Obama comes in and half the country goes back to sleep. That's not the case now. There is mass civil unrest. There is a new generation of people who are so politically engaged, where socialism is not a dirty word to them, and they are paying attention big time. They're not going to be swayed by a neocon like Joe Biden. So I think you are going to have a big slew of people now who are going to be very in tune with the fact that it's the oligarchy against the rest of us, because there is no orange boogeyman anymore.
Yeah, there'll be some dumb dipshit neoliberals who will still say boogeyman, Trump bad. But
you can't say they're going back to sleep, because they were never awake in the first place.
Right.
So let them go to brunch.
They'll just go to brunch and say, yay, we did it. Yes, Queen Kamala. But all these other people are waking up. All those protests, that everyone was dancing in the streets Saturday when Biden was announced. And then Sunday, there was those people chanting, fuck Trump, fuck Biden too. Both of them don't give a fuck about you. And there was a lot of young people of color, all different ethnicities in Detroit and other cities. Like, no.
And it was a damn good chant.
It was awesome. And more people were like, yeah. And
I wanted to make it my ringtone.
Yeah. It's going to get bigger. That chant, those protests are going to get bigger and louder, because once Trump's gone, then there's no more Trump did it. Oh, orange man caused all the problems in the world forever. It'd be like, nope. And sorry. People are going to be forced. And some of those people at brunch are going to be forced into that protest because they're going to get evicted. They're going to have their shit thrown on the street, and they're going to go, I thought Biden was going to save it.
Yeah. And they're going to realize a lot of people weren't actually their fucking friends. That's what they're going to realize. Hopefully it's not too late.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not too late. You really learn the neoliberals are not your friends. I learned it in Hollywood. A lot of these people I thought were my friends, they're not.
That's where I learned it. Took a couple months. Months of being here. I learned that real quick.
Yeah. They're vapid pieces of shit. And
they really are.
People, the friends that I've made in the last 3.5 years of doing this show and being on Jimmy's show, these are like amazing lifelong friends. Like people that are in the streets protesting. Like, it's amazing. And I miss all of us like hanging out and doing stuff together, because everything's been separated because of COVID. But I really, that community.
Yeah. Humankind coming together. I miss it very much.
I know.
It's so sad. It's like sometimes I think of I should probably text all my friends just a sad face.
Yeah. Don't you think they will blame it all on the possible Republican majority like they did with Obama? Yeah, some people, the brunch crowd will, backyard politics. The brunch crowd will go, see, those Republicans did it like they did with Obama. The brunch crowd. And sadly, it'll be like people in my age group, like Gen Xers and up. But I think the millennials and the younger people are going to be like, no, man, we've heard this is all bullshit. I don't see the neoliberal Gen Xer who thinks Obama was the greatest president ever. I don't see them ever pulling their head out of their ass. I don't see that happening until they get kicked in the street. Until like a cop with a Biden sticker like punches them, then they might go, oh, hey.
Well, and Biden's not going to be able to bullshit people the way Obama did. Biden's just not, that's just not who he is. He's not a good bullshit. Right. He's a good bullshitter in the Beltway, but that doesn't work with regular people. His whole Amtrak, none of it worked. None of it freaking worked. Here's what happened in 2020. They proved every freaking rule has an exception. That's just a rule of life. Every rule has an exception. Here's a general rule that works, I think, 90+% of the time. You can't beat something with nothing. What's an exception to that rule? Well, if the something was in charge during a once-in-a-century pandemic and fucked it up royally beyond comprehension, nothing can fucking win.
Yep. All right. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, Ron, what do you want to sing?
Well, that song Sam Dean asked for, I gotta admit, I don't know it. But I mean, if you know it, we can do that, or we
Money
can do
for Nothing and Your Chicks for Free, the Dire Straits song.
I don't. Maybe I do know it, and I'm just not knowing the title.
My MTV, money for nothing and your chicks for free. You don't know?
Oh,
that
I know that song. Oh, I know that song. I don't know the words, but I have heard that song before. I didn't realize that was the title.
All right.
But yeah.
All right, let's do that song.
I'll mumble along.
All right.
Are you doing Granny Petrol? Or are you doing Eddie Vedder?
Let's do Dueling Eddie Vedders.
All right, doing Eddie Vedder. Got it. And everybody, November 21st, grab your tickets, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Venmo Graham-Elwood, $10. Say it's for the show on November 21st. It's our big Zoom blowout of the year. There's going to be stand-up, songs, characters. We're going all out. We've been the Zoom shows have been a lot of fun this year. It's not quite the same as being there with y'all, but it's been what we got, and we've been making the most of it. And we're looking forward to seeing you all on November 21st.
Yeah, I was like really missing the Zoom. I mean, I'm missing Zoom shows. So I'm excited for it. Tomorrow I will be live with Lee Camp doing Government Secrets. We're doing it a little earlier in the day at 5:00 Eastern time, which will be 2:00 Pacific. We're going to go live. Government Secrets. So check that out. This is our show information. And then all these live streams, folks, hit the like button. All these live streams are archived on Rockfin at the premium level and Patreon at the $10 level. So go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood. You can get the audio for $5, the video for 10, and Patreon or Rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. You get everything for $10. Come on now. Here we go. Here we go. Dueling Eddie Vedders. We'll just alternate lines. I'll do the first one, Ron, and then you do the second one.
All right. I don't know if I know this.
Look at them yo-yos.
That's how you do it.
You play the guitar on your head.
That's the way you do it.
Money, hurt all in your head. Well, do 2 lines at a time. Here, you do 2.
Oh, they are?
Let me tell you, them guys ain't dumb.
Maybe get a blister on your little finger.
Maybe get up later home.
Got it in all microwave.
Kitchen, here.
We gotta move these refrigerators.
We gotta move his car here, hard on.
Power movers.
How.
Ha.
We gotta hear some microwave.
Custom kitchen delivery.
Gotta move these refrigerators.
We gotta move these color TVs.
Look at that. I should have learned hell.
I should have learned to play them drums.
Look at that mama. She got it sticking in the cameraman.
We could have some fun And he's up
Up there with that
there.
Hawaiian noises. We'll bang it on the bongo hill.
Like a chimpanzee. Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it.
Money for nothing in your hicks for hell.
Gotta install microwave ovens.
Got some kitchen here for his.
Gotta move these refrigerators.
We got here for old hell, Cali here for hell. Hell, here. Hear me spoken.
Aha!
Hell. Now that ain't
Okay.
working. That's it. We heard you hit.
You play the guitar on the MTV.
That ain't working. That's it. We heard you hit.
More nothing, get your chicks for free.
On here, who's out the hicks her head.
What's that? Look at that.
Her hat, her hell. I seem to recognize
Money for nothing.
your hell. And your chicks for free. Her hair, her hair. Yeah, hell. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Ron Placone, where can people watch and enjoy all of your online chicanery?
You can check me out on youtube.com/Ron Placone, where I do Get Your News On with Ron. And you can also find me on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for a Give What You Can level, I'll make you a theme song. Go to ronplacone.com for everything else Ron Placone, including the Lucy and Ron comic. And I hope to see all of you on November 25th at our Zoom show.
Yes, folks, tickets are $10. Just go to my Venmo at Graham-Elwood and say you want tickets for the Venmo for the November 21st comedy show. And please like and subscribe. Support the show. I'm totally like 90% viewer funded by folks like you. So please go to patreon.com/Graham-Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham-Elwood. Blockchain cryptocurrency platform. If money's tight, watch the ads all the way through on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. All those things are free ways to support the program. I also have a Pandora channel. Both my comedy albums are on it. The Graham-Elwood Pandora channel. You can listen to that for free. And I get residual income. Thank you for watching, everybody. You're all making Gotham great again. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom.